What's going on, everybody? My name's Calvin.
My name's Angelo.
We are the Vision Twins, and we lost combined 300 pounds.
Now it's our life mission to show the entire world how to do the same thing.
In today's video, we are going to be reacting to over 70-pound transformations from people who have lost over 70 pounds in our weight loss training program. So without further ado, Angelo, let's get right into it. Are you excited for this, man?
I'm ready, man. 70 pounds is a lot of weight. And if you're looking to lose 70 pounds, it's going to take you about, I would say, either 5 months to 7 months. So don't try to do this in like 3 months, because then you're just rushing the process and there's a chance that you gain the weight back because you did it so fast. So 10 pounds a month, especially if you're like 280, 290, 300 pounds, that's a really good transformation right there. So 5 to 7 months.
First off, we have Christian. So Christian, he took his picture sideways right here. And when you take your picture sideways, it makes you look a little bit longer. I think it's different than when you take it vertical. I think with the iPhone, it could be the same thing. But either way, Christian absolutely crushed it. As you can see, he's kind of tilting out from the sides. And a lot of people ask about their nipple size when they're overweight. They ask about if they're going to have any type of cone shaped or it's going to change when they lose weight. And it looks like for Christian, it looks like his sort of went in more, as you can tell in his transformation swiping over. Definitely a big transformation in his stomach. I noticed a lot more in his boob area getting a lot smaller.
I noticed the side fats for sure. Like his sides right there, the rolls start to go away. And you start to stand more upright, which definitely is a big difference right there. You can see the line goes away on his side right there. The overhang on his stomach shrinks tremendously. And overall, like from his sternum part right here, so this is your sternum, from there down, you can see that it's less fat, like kind of overhanging like that. It starts to go straight down more. So that's really cool, and that's something that you notice when you're losing weight when you turn to the side. You want to see like yourself getting slimmer this way. And for some people, like for Calvin, when he lost weight, I could tell he got slimmer faster going, like if he was turned sideways towards the camera right now, he got slimmer this way. He's a little bit wider, like if you're looking straight on the camera, he's more wider than I am. Versus me, I shrink more this way, but when I turn sideways, I have more of an overhang on my belly. So it's just kind of different for people's bodies. And for him, it looks like he's more towards me, where when he turns sideways, or no, yeah, more towards Calvin, excuse me. When you turn sideways, you start to get more flatter from the side view, versus when he's up front, I'm sure he looks a little bit more wider, like he just has a wider frame up here. But most people, some people, like me, I have a slimmer front-facing view. So he looks pretty good though. That's awesome.
Yeah, he absolutely crushed it. And I noticed the little things on people's transformation pictures, how he's going from the side, and then the next one he's holding it upside down, more vertical. So maybe he felt more comfortable holding his phone straight ways this time.
He took it two different ways. First it's sideways, then this one's upside down. Like, he's got an interesting way of taking the pictures, but hey, however he gets the job done, that's all that matters.
He absolutely crushed it. So Christian, congratulations to you, man. We're super proud of you. He did this in around 7 months was his time frame. And that's how cool losing weight can be, is you can turn your weight around in a very short amount of time, as long as you have a vision and you know exactly on where you want to go and how you want to look like. Happens very fast. Here we go. Next up, we got our guy David. And as you can see, he clearly was doing this during the COVID lockdown when he had to be at home. Well, we all had to be at home. And he took his picture, got the mask on, he's covering his face. That could have been for COVID, it could have been for him not wanting to show his face, but either way, he is a pretty big guy right here. First thing I notice is his chest hair. Wow. His chest hair in the transformation stays the same. So maybe it has a little bit more. It's showing a little bit more on the second slide.
Okay.
But it looks smaller on his chest when he's bigger. And when you lose weight, that's one thing that we've noticed, especially in our weight loss journey, is that can be the same amount of hair on somebody's body. But when you lose the weight and you shrink in from the top, it's going to look a lot larger on your after picture, on your transformation. Notice how it looks very small in the beginning. But when he loses the weight, it takes up a lot more mass on his body because he is a smaller individual at this point.
He also got another tattoo on his right arm. And that's what I'm noticing from his sides. Like, he obviously took a good picture straight up front, looking down at the cell phone. And you can just tell, like, the way he's standing in the first picture right there, compared to the second picture, his sides, when he puts his arms down, they're a lot closer to his sides. Versus before, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, under his lap, they're kind of just like holding out like this. Versus on this picture, it's a lot more flat down the sides of his arms right there, under his lats. He lost, obviously, some weight around his stomach. Definitely flatter. I would say in the first picture, he's like 330, dude. That's a pretty...
That's a
pretty big transformation.
This transformation is definitely over 70 pounds. So we're giving him a lot of credit on this video right here, David.
I would say 70 pounds, honestly. Like he looks about 330.
With
and then maybe to like 260, 250, I would say.
With the loose skin. Because loose skin does cause us to have extra weight onto our body.
Yeah, he's definitely holding onto some extra weight because of that loose skin. That looks like, you know, if you trimmed off that loose skin, you could kind of see like his ribs and his lines right there, like those shadows underneath there. And you only have that when you are really lean, or not really lean, but you're leaner up top. And it looks like he lost that belly, like the balloon belly, as like what I'd call it. It definitely shrunk down. He has kind of a body like mine, but he might not be too tall. That's why it's kind of hanging out with a lot of loose skin. But you can start to see it starts to hang down, like on his, under his, like by his right arm right there, or left arm in the picture, where his tattoo is. It starts to kind of hang. It turns like this. So your loose skin, instead of it just like going in and sinking all the way, it starts to fold underneath itself. And so you can kind of see it starts to hang, and it starts to do that little loopy thing right there by his belt loop. And so it's hanging now, and he has, I would say, like, that looks like 20, 30, it could be 20 to 40 pounds of loose skin, honestly. But we'll never know until you get to cut off and you weigh it at the end. But I think he lost maybe like 70 pounds off this transformation. This is a really good picture, dude. Like, he crushed it.
Obviously, I noticed the small things on people's weight loss journey. And back to that first point that I made about the mask, right? He's a lot more comfortable with his face after losing weight because he is now showing his face. And there are very minor things that we notice in people's weight loss journey because we've been there before. We know that the little details, they matter in our body, and only we notice those things. And
that could definitely...
That's very important.
He could have either been sick in the first picture,
True,
or the second one, he just really didn't want to show his face. We may never know, and he might know at the time, but either way, second picture, he doesn't have the mask on. So that's actually something that happens when you do lose weight. You get healthier. Like, you don't get sick as much. I remember when I was over 300 pounds, I was sick all the time, like with respiratory issues. My nose was clogged all the time. We'd have this massive cough, like, like, you remember that? Dude, had that disgusting cough?
Dude, deadly, dude.
Like, that cough would just wake you, like, oh my gosh, sounds like he's dying. It's like, I haven't done that, oh my gosh, I haven't done that cough in such a long time. I rarely get sick, and I'm sure you could tell right here, after he lost the weight, you get healthier. You start to make better healthy food choices. You don't feel sick all the time. Your sleep quality is better. You don't wake up feeling pain anymore. I remember, this is a little personal anecdote right here, but every night I would go to sleep and I'd have a bag of chips and like some soda or some sort of drink. And I would lay on my back and I would watch these YouTube videos, like Roman Atwood vlogs. And I would notice that my big toe would start to go numb at night. Like, if I rubbed over my left big toe, it would feel numb and there was no feeling in my toe. And I was like, oh snap, like, I'm getting big. Like, that's where you start to notice where you can't feel things on your body is where you're starting to really have bad health issues. And hopefully you don't wait till that long to make a transformation on your body or even just get started, because at that point, you know you have to change. Like, you know you have to do it. There's no, oh, I'm going to keep doing this and just see what happens. Like, you're either going to get extremely big, extremely overweight, and probably die, or you make the change, you start one day at a time, and you just see where things go. That's the best mentality when you first start losing weight, is try not to like, oh, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, because you know you're probably not going to do that right away. But what you can do is say, hey, I'm going to just show up every day, going to work out, I'm going to do it whenever I can, I'm going to make the smarter food choice whenever I can, and if I mess up, I mean, I'll try my best on the next time, but everything I do, I'm just gonna try to make it healthier. And one thing that we did was like, instead of having a sandwich with both pieces of bread, Calvin still does it to this day. You just take off the top piece of bread. Like that's just certain things like
That's a
that
great point.
that you just do that you don't even realize you're actually reducing calories and you're losing weight because of those things. So eventually we ended up going from, you know, hamburgers to then taking off the top bun to then only eating the protein and cheese inside the bread. And then we ended up going to salads. And then from salads, we ended up just fasting and like learning to not eating as much. And like,
go ahead, sir.
no, yeah, I was just saying that you just start to reduce. So don't think about making a huge change up front. Just think about what can I reduce from my current lifestyle that would help me out. And if you know, like getting 4 bags of chips from 7-Eleven during the day, maybe get 2. And like, after that, you're probably like, okay, do I really want 2 bags of chips? Let me just get 1. And then you start having this conversation with yourself like, man, that's some fat shit. Like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, I feel fat when I do that. I feel gross. And you start to label it as something bad so you don't keep doing it. So that's one thing that really helps out as well. I know I'm taking up the air in this conversation, but
You're perfect.
label whatever unhealthy habit you have as bad. And you won't do it anymore. Like drinking soda. For us, just drinking a regular soda can, I mean, one, it's just like there's no way we're gonna do it. But 2, it's like, no, that's just bad. Like we just know that's bad, so we don't want to do it. And so we find healthier alternatives, and eventually you just pull away so much that the things that you used to do all the time, get in tornadoes and taquitos and all these things, you're just like, I don't want to do that anymore. That's what got me to where I was before. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna find something else healthier to eat, and I'll get over it. And you just accept that, and that's how you make the change. It's not like this giant jump from one area to the end. You figure it out as you go along.
It takes a long time to get to that point too, because eating tornadoes and taquitos, that was something that we did up until I would say 22, 23 years old. And we had lost over 140 pounds by that point already.
Mind you, that was like our lunch though. Like we wouldn't eat that in conjunction with dinner, breakfast, lunch, snacks during the day. Like that was just what we ate for lunch. We'd get 5 taquitos and like, all right, that's lunch for the day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we haven't done that in a long time because now we understand the effects of, one, the greasiness that's inside of it, and not only the greasiness, but the carbohydrates that are inside of taquitos and tornadoes. They're molded with bread. They're
And the sodium.
wrapped in flour and sodium and preservatives. And we've realized that eating tons of foods with preservatives in it are going to take a long time for our body to digest. It's going to take us at least a month to burn off the amount of sodium and crazy preservatives that are inside of our body from those foods. And we realize it's a lot easier when we eat healthier foods, lean proteins, lean fats that help us shred our fat that's already on our body and build muscle at the same time and look better.
We just know like whatever I'm putting in my body,
It's gonna show up. It's gonna show up on the outside. So you have to remember that on your weight loss journey. Next up, we have Yaret Tree. He lost over 70 pounds, and he did this in 6 months. He did this in a very short time frame, and just looking at his transformation, a few things that pop out. Angelo, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
he is not hairy on his stomach.
Bro, I didn't even know. I did not notice that right away.
You're telling me you didn't notice all that hair on his stomach? Man, he went from...
Dude, people notice different things on their weight loss journey. I didn't notice that at all.
Well, I mean, if it ain't obvious to me, the first thing I noticed is that boy done realized having all that hair on your stomach ain't it.
It's not cute.
So he went ahead and, I don't know if he shaved it, trimmed it, waxed it, but his stomach afterwards looks a lot better. As a matter of fact, he don't look like he ain't got no loose skin. Like he's got very minimal extra skin on his body. He must be pretty tall or something, but yeah, shoot. That's a crazy transformation. His hair, like he looks like literally 2 different people. He looks a lot younger in the second picture. First picture, of course, also when you're overweight, you look older. You look like 5 to 10 years older than you are. I remember we were 17, looking like 33-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 27-year-olds getting into stores without being checked for our ID when we were young heathens. But yeah, he looks like at least like 17 in that picture versus the first picture. He looks like he's 28, 29.
Yeah, he does in the second.
He looks like a high schooler or a college student in the second picture. At most 21. So you look a lot younger. You take care of your, what's it called? Your hygiene more. You want to see your body, so he shaved up his stomach. He has. You only do this when you feel sexy too. Like you only do this type of pull up your shirt.
That's when the only time you do that.
This, come on, bro. You tell me you pulling it up like you didn't just go like this, keep it there and hold it, take a picture. You went. What you talking about? That's what you did. That's what he did right there. So you could tell he got that confidence way up after that. Hey, he just looks younger, bro. He doesn't look like he's irritated and mad all the time. Which, when you're overweight, you walk around with the biggest RBF. You're just pissed off all the time because everything irritates you.
He looks like he did the damn thing. I'm very proud of you, Yedechi.
Nipples are more formable.
What's the word? I couldn't find it for the first guy.
Your areola?
Areolas, yes.
Drier?
But not for breastfeeding, no. Not drier. A lot of people always worry about it, and they've always asked if we've had it, but we never had it.
What?
The nipple disease where...
Gyno?
Gyno.
That's not gyno, though.
He does not have gyno.
Nobody we've talked about had gyno so far.
No. You don't think the first guy had gyno?
Pull up the first guy.
Going back to the first guy real quick.
No, that's not gyno.
No.
That's gyno.
Okay, we already talked about it.
But that's gyno.
That's for another video.
Yeah, but that's not gyno.
That's gyno, that's not gyno. And the reason why I laugh so hard at that is because we have so many transformations and so many pictures of people who have lost a lot of weight with us, and the differences in all of their bodies is amazing. And it's funny to look back at our weight loss transformation and see how much we've changed, and then seeing how these other people have changed, how they go from gyno to no gyno, or they go from gyno to gyno, or they go from never having gyno to never having gyno. It's just a very interesting thing, and it makes me laugh because it's like, oh, gyno, no gyno, gyno, no gyno, oh, that's gyno, gyno, no gyno. So there's just a little funny tip that I was thinking about when you said, oh, that's gyno.
I don't get what you're laughing at, but okay, that's what, if you find it funny, hey.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to hit the link below if you want weight loss coaching or to experience over 70-pound transformation like the people you have seen in this video. And as always, don't wait, lose weight.